In this talk, we have Mr. Tausif Raza with us. And apart from the biotechnology or microbiology or biochemistry, he is the person who has did something different, and that is he's doing something in the field of embryology. So today he will be speaking on that. I would like to give some brief introduction of Mr. Tausif Raza. He has done his BSc Biotechnology from Maharaja College, Ada in 2010. Then he moved to Pondicherry Central University for his MSc Biotechnology. Then after his MSc, he has also worked as a project JRF for 1 year. Then in 2015, he came into the field of embryology. Then once in embryology, he has worked for 5 years in the as a senior embryologist in Indian Indira IVF, which is located in Patna itself. Then after currently he is working as a chief embryologist in Aveta IVF Center, which is in Patna itself. So we'll just start the second session.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Sanjeev sir, for giving me this opportunity to talk about clinical embryology. So, first of all, here we will start. So, last 2.5 years, you people have learned so many things about biotechnology, life sciences, and all. But today, hope you will learn some new and different topics. Hope you will enjoy this session, like clinical embryology. That is very demanding nowadays. So let's start with career opportunities in clinical embryology. So basically here we will start. What is clinical embryology? So embryology is the branch of science which deals with the formation, growth, and development of embryos. Basically, can you please next slide? So basically, we will discuss each and everything about embryology in our next slide. So here nowadays, whenever we start any topics, so first we go to the history. So from where they have been created. So 42 years before, miracle happens in science. The first world test tube baby was born. Her name Louise Brown, 25th July 1978. Okay, the scientist behind the technique was Sir Robert Edward and his group. And after a long wait, finally in 2010, he got Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine for his very good technique in vitro fertilization. So next, please. So here you can see a very beautiful baby 42 years ago. She beautiful Louise Brown, and now she is 42 years old with Sir Robert Edward. So next. So we cannot stop here only. So in India also, just after 3 months of Louise Brown in India, the Durga, after world second test tube baby and India's first test tube baby born, and the scientist behind that technique was Dr. Subhas Mukhopadhyay. He is a very good physician, very visionary research scholar, and he did that same thing. But in India, you all know, first of all, if you do any new techniques, government will not accept, and society will see what you are doing like that. So that's why thoda sa we are government have not recognized his technique, and finally he committed suicide. So you might have seen that movie Ek Doctor Ki Maut, the movie based upon him only. So next, please. So basically this is written here, what is embryology. Can you please next slide? So let's start with here IVF technique. Basically an embryologist works basically start with clinical embryology with IVF hospital. So here, this is the technique what we used in IVF laboratory. This is the basic protocol I will explain here, so you people can understand what basic in vitro fertilization technique is. So first of all, in first you are saying patient, the couple came to our hospital. So any IVF hospital. Here I want to clear one thing. So earlier what happened? So if a couple get married and after 2 years, 4 years, and 5 years, she did not conceived. So people always used to blame lady basically ki, she is having problem like that. But nowadays technique has improved, some research improved, and you cannot blame anyone because infertility both can happen, either male or female. So you cannot blame ki only female having problem. So male also has problem. That's why both couple came to hospital, go to any IVF hospital. So first they consult with doctor. Doctor will take the history of all both couple. So they will take history, how long since you have been married and all, and all. Then we go for the hormonal stimulation basically for female, and we give 10 to 15 days hormonal doses for egg retrieval. And after 10 to 15 days, we our doctor basically gynecologist monitor the egg, how mature egg is there. And after 14 10 to 15 14 injection fluid from the patient, and we pick the egg from there. And we separate the egg, and we use basically a Hippies medium. It's hello, hello, yeah. Voice is not clear. Hello.
Please go ahead. Now it is clear.
Okay. So you people are seeing in that slide fertilization process. Basically, from fertilization, we separate the egg from the fluid, and we keep in the buffer medium called Hippies, and we take the semen sample from that partner, and we do fertilization. And we'll come in next slide ki, in ICSI what we do. So here after IVF we kept that embryos to for culture from till day 0 to day 5, like that I will explain in our next slide how embryo developed, like day 0 to day 1, day 2 to till day 5. Okay, after day 5, when blastocyst formed, we transfer that embryo to the patient uterus, and finally after 9 months you can get a very beautiful baby. In our right side you are seeing point wise it is clear, so it's a little bit advanced technique. Basically we do PGS, pre-implantation genetic diagnosis, for genetic testing. So here you are seeing IVF or ICSI. I will explain what is basically IVF and ICSI. So just see here. So finally we did, after blastocyst culture, if fourth point you see we basically go to basically we do biopsy for that patient. So from there we took the trophectoderm cell and we send it to a genetic lab for analysis, is there any chromosomal defect or not. So after that, after 15 days they send the report to us, yes, this embryo is healthy and good. So basically we kept that embryo for freezing, and next cycle we transfer that embryo to patient. So please next slide. So basically, this is the IVF laboratory workflow. Here, our laboratory have two sections. Basically, it is first andrology, and this then second embryology. So in andrology, what we do basically, in andrology we do semen analysis and IUI till IUI procedure. So in andrology we take semen sample and we do analysis of that patient. How is the sperm count, morphology, mortality, like that. We all the procedure we follow WHO 2010 protocol, which is worldwide nowadays using. And finally, we do IUI before IVF, a step called IUI, in intrauterine insemination. In that technique, what we do, we take the semen sample, we wash with the sperm wash media to that sample, and finally we do swim up, and then IUI catheter. You can see here in IUI, just behind the catheter is showing IUI catheter. We took the semen sample after washing, and we transfer to the uterus. Then coming to the embryology lab, basically from a oocyte retrieval to till transfer. So that I explained in previous slide what we do. That is the flow chart. We do the same. Next, please. So here you can see the IVF lab equipments. Basically, these are the equipments which we use for our IVF laboratory. So here microscope we use for semen analysis, and sperm cell counter we use to count and motility basically. And you are seeing cryocan. Basically, cryocan is used for preservation. Oocyte, sperm, and embryo we preserve here. And centrifuge machine basically used for centrifugation and washing the sperm. Laminar airflow you are seeing, and you can see in right side also in laminar airflow. And test tube warmer, basically for 37-degree temperature we maintain here. So in right side upper you are seeing IVF OT, basically where we do ovum pickup and transfer. And in down you are able to see here the working station, the laminar hood, which attached with the inverted microscope. This is our working station. Here we work, we do pickup, oocyte loading, unloading, freezing, embryo transfer, all maximum all the procedure we do in that working station. And in corner you are seeing the ICSI machine basically. So we do ICSI. So coming to next slide, please. Basically here ICSI, basically it is a 6-step process, and here I am doing the ICSI. So it's our ICSI machine. Basically I will explain detail here what is the difference between IVF and ICSI. So I already told in our first second slide we do that IVF procedure. We consult basically test and diagnosis, then oocyte retrieval, and all the process is same here. But the major difference here is basically earlier people used to do IVF. In IVF, what they did, we took the oocyte from patient and we took the semen sample from the partner. That time ICSI was not developed. So in that case, we used to dilute the semen sample, and we put the culture media, and we put the droplets like 50 microliter, 100 microliter, and we add the semen sample and we put in oocyte and culture for the growth and formation. In basically we used benchtop incubator, benchtop tri-gas incubator we used for culture and growth. In that incubator, basically we maintain temperature, CO2, N2. Okay, so here in upper side, what that is quotation is there, ek main aur ek tu dono mile is tarah. It's a very funny quote. So basically it's for ICSI. So ICSI basically it expands for intracytoplasmic sperm injection. In that technique nowadays all over world people are using ICSI. In that process we select the single sperm, and from the million of sperm we pick the single healthy sperm and we inject in oocyte. So here you are able to see this is the holding. Basically, we studied in RDT holding, micro injection, micro holding. So the same thing we do daily in our daily routine in practically. This is our holding which hold the oocyte, and that right side it is the injection needle. The sperm you are able to see in center. So single sperm injected into the single oocyte. Why? Because there is a fertilization rate, the chances of fertilization is high. That's why people are, and the result is very good, and fertilization rate is comparatively very high. So that's why, and it's very safe technique. So people always used to ask, is there any issue in child like that? So there is no issue till now, and there is no any paper, because IVF or ICSI, both baby are healthy, and in naturally conceived we are also healthy. So there is no till now any valid proof ki yes, is there any defect and all. So next please. So basically here you are seeing development of embryos. Here I am showing one slide. So it is a very advanced technique we used here, called embryoscope. We also called time lapse technology. In that technology, actually it is very costly machine. It's around 80 lakh to 1 crore. So in India very few lab is having that machine. But in that machine, what we see basically कि automatic machine, ये after ICSI we put the culture dish in that chamber, and it show, and it will take image, and it will show each and every step what is happening. Likewise you can see in right side embryo development basically. So first, after 17 to 18 hour, we used to see PN, pronuclei. Then after one days we used to say two cell. Hope you all have studied cell division. The same thing happening here. Cell is going to divide like 1 day, 2 days, and day two may you can see 4 to 6 cell basically it happens, and day three 8 to 10 cell, and sometime compaction. And day 4 basically morula grade, and day 5 blastocyst. So here it is the full process till day 0 after ICSI to till day 5 blastocyst formed, and finally we transfer that blastocyst to patient. So next please. So basically here for UG and PG student, so the basic thing is that what is the eligibility criteria for become an embryologist. So basically nowadays master degree is important to become an embryologist. So the student who is doing UG, you can take master degree in MSc in clinical embryology. I will tell in our next slide all the details from where you can get the courses, and if someone has done master degree also can get in embryology department. So training is also required, so I will tell in our next slide. So basically master degree is important for become an embryologist. Okay, so what is the skill required? So basically, if you do embryology, you have to be very skilled in like academic and research. So you can understand what is the technique going on, and you have to create your own idea. Also, basically nowadays we are following WHO protocol, so it is there everything clear mentioned. So next, please. So basically the role of embryologist, what is the role of an embryologist in IVF lab? So we have to focus in that thing becoming an embryologist, it is very responsible for retrieval the egg, in vitro fertilization, like we do ICSI process, all techniques we do, and we have to monitor all the things basically. So monitoring is very important, so we have to regular monitor our embryos, is there any infection, any contamination or not. So basically we focused on that thing, and VOC level should not be there. So everything we mentioned, and we monitor all the things. So next please. So basically, what we do here in our daily life? In our daily life, first we came to our hospital. Before entering to IVF lab, basic things we need to follow according to WHO. So we have to change the dress. We have to proper mask. Wear proper mask and cap. We should not even wear watch and ring. There we should not do any perfume and any scent, because embryo is very sensitive. So we have to be very we have to sterile. So basically, so there should if there is any chances of contamination, so embryo will not form and it will get arrested. So our daily routine is like that. We enter the lab, we have a schedule of patient, we retrieve the egg, we wash the semen sample, we do the X-ray, we do all the process. And we monitoring is very important. I already told you monitoring is very important. And after 5 day of blastocyst, we have to preserve that embryo. Preservation is also important. And QA and QC, quality assurance and quality control, is very important. We have to check all the things on basically the tank I already showed in our previous slide. We preserve that embryo, egg or semen sample. We have to monitor a liquid nitrogen level also. So it can be we can further use for a long time, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years at all. Next please. So basically career, basically after becoming an embryologist, basically always people used to ask what is the career of embryology. So basically you after becoming an embryologist, you can make your career in either private sector and government sector also. So nowadays there are so many IVF hospital in India and USA and overseas also. You can apply there also. So you can work with any private and government institution. So but very few government institution are doing, but mostly private institution are doing. And after getting experience, you will get a very good position, like you can be a lab manager, lab director. And according to ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, if you have a master degree in life science and you have experience in 3 years, you can become an embryologist. And after having 6 years of embryologist, you can be a lab director, and you can also open your lab also. So there is a very good opportunity for you people who is in UG and PG for becoming an embryologist and make career in embryology. So, and if you want to go for research also, you can go for research purpose also in a very good organization, like in AIMS Delhi basically is offering for IVF. Last month also they have opened one vacancy for IVF scientist. So if you are eligible for that thing, so you can apply there, you can go and you can do a very good research also there. So nowadays embryology is very demanding. So most of the so many organization offer embryology courses like MSc, and some training institutes are also there from you can get the training. Next slide please. So here, basically, the institution who offers the embryology courses, you can see here: Embryology Academy of Research and Training, Mumbai; Datta Megha Institute of Medical Science; International Institute of Reproduction and Fertility Training, Delhi; Embryogenesis, Chennai. Likewise, these are the some institutions who offer in Asia Pacific also, in Mysore. So these are the institution who offers master degree course. And some training institutes are also there in our next slide, please. So these are the training institute of India from where you can get the training. If a person like me, I have done in master degree in biotechnology. I have done BSc in biotechnology, MSc in biotechnology, but I had interest in embryology, so I did training in embryology, and I joined embryology and 2000 October 2015, and till now I am doing embryology. So you people also can do embryology and become an embryologist after having master degree in life science. So after getting training, you can also join any IVF center, or you can become an embryologist, and you can do very good in career also. So these are the some training institute who offer training. They take almost 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees for training. They will give overview about all the embryology. Okay, next please. So finally, people ask if I become an embryologist, so what I will get the salary. So definitely you can ask. So here you can see this is a graph. You can see here basically in New Delhi, that is the capital of India. There are so many opportunities, so you can get a very good job in Delhi. In Delhi, there are so many IVF hospitals, they can offer you if you have master degree and embryology training, and you can, and if you have MSc in clinical embryology, definitely you will get any lab for your career. So likewise, it depends on city also. Bangalore is also a very good city, and there are so many IVF centers. You can get job, and in metro cities like Kolkata, you all know very well that is very old organization of IVF where Subhas Mukhopadhyay sir also initiated. And in Kolkata, I also went to Kolkata. There are so many IVF lab you can get, and you can get salary also. So first of all, you will have to develop a skill. If you have a skill, you can get job very easily, because in embryology we do very practical. What we have studied is very different, and what we do practical life, that is very different, and that is very challenging work also. Basically, patient came to us and they asked, sir, IVF is very costly, so if I will pay that money, so can I get 100% assurance? But we cannot say we can give 100%, because nobody can give 100%, because we try our best, and we have maintained our results 70 to 80%. That is very good, because if you have the result 60 to 70% in IVF field, so the result shows it's very good you are doing. So that's why I told you skill is very important. If you have a skill, you can do very well, and you can get job also, and you will be paid, so you can get money also. So next please. So these are the job opportunities and top fertility centers. Basically, there are so many fertility centers in India. If I'll talk about Patna, in Patna also have almost 20 IVF centers. But some top IVF centers, basically, first you have to get experience from that, then they will take. So these are the top fertility center where you can do a job. You can apply there, like Oasis Fertility, AIMS, I already told you. But in Delhi, basically, they are offering IVF. But in most of the AIMS, just they have started embryology part, basically, because embryology is very difficult, because nowadays becoming embryologist, very few embryologists are India. If we talk, almost 800 to 1000 embryologists are there in India. But you can imagine how many doctors are there, how many gynecologists are there, but embryologists. So that's why embryology is very demanding field. If you want to pursue your career, if you want to make your career in embryology, you will have to take initiative, and you will have to be responsible for each and everything, because it's also a very challenging work also. So it's not like a normal job, you can go and you do your job and you come back to you. No, you have to observe each and everything, because we play with human body, so we have to be very careful. So these are the basically centers you can get the job. So next please. So basically, these are the membership. So in first or poster slide, you might have seen in India map, like Academy of Clinical Embryology. This is the profession body, and this is the organization where we all embryologists discuss about the new ideas, and we develop the new skills. We do, and we guide to our juniors ki, yes, what you have to do, and you have to work very skillfully, and you have to be interested. So likewise, we guide also. We have discussed many ideas. So this is our professional body, you can say, ki our member organization. This is the organization where basically embryologists can discuss each and every idea. And the second one is our Indian Society for Assisted Reproduction. In that society, basically, our embryologist and gynecologist both are involved here, and both discuss about idea. We do conferences like that. Each and every year we organize conferences. Just in this year we had a conference in Kolkata in September month itself, also 16, 17, and 18. But due to Corona, it's postponed. So next year, hopefully, we will organize that conference and we will attend. So hopefully, and the last one is Indian Fertility Society. IFS. This is a pan-India society where there are so many all over India doctors joined here, and we do a state-wise conference here because of awareness. Yes, yes, you can at least aware about the fertility. So nowadays awareness is very important because most of the people know. Okay, what is infertility, but they don't in village area you can say even they don't know what is infertility. So we have to be aware, and we have to tell the people, yes, this is not a big issue. You can get a good fertility doctors. You have to join, you have to go to a good IVF hospital so you can get treatment also. So so we have to initiate awareness also. That's why we have organized these type of program, at least people can aware about this thing. So next please. So next and our last slide. Thank you, everyone. Hope you can see there God is a master and creator of the universe, but sometimes he just get a little help from your embryologist. So we do our best, and we are very much interested in that, and hopefully you should have very responsible. So responsibility is more important. So thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much, Tausif, for a wonderful talk. So, I have one query for you.
Sure.
How do you feel in Patna people are much aware of this IVF technology? And do we need some awareness program or something like that?
Yes, very good question you have asked. When I joined here 2015, there are so many centers like you all have heard about, like Dr. Shanti Rai, Dr. Himanshu Rai Clinic. They basically do IUI, so intrauterine insemination before IVF, and sometimes they used to do IVF. But we joined as Indra IVF Hospital, that is the head office in Udaipur, and they came with a very good and very new latest technique, ICSI. That's why I told you na, ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. So it is a worldwide and very famous technique people are using and very high results. So that's why people now aware about IVF or ICSI, IVF basically. So patient came for IVF. So we do our best. So result basically patient came, patient see the result. If our result is good, the patient tell to other patients. So likewise they came.
Okay, that's really nice. So, anyone have any query can ask, can interact with Tausif.
Tausif, I have many queries.
Okay.
Okay, so first thing is how much is the ICSI cost in Patna?
Yeah, basically, sir, here I joined Aveta IVF last July. So here we are taking approximately 1.5 lakh for one cycle, and in 3 lakh we do 3 cycle. If one cycle fail, we can do second cycle, we can do third cycle also. But most probably people used to conceive in after first and second attempt.
How many do you transfer? How many embryos?
Basically two blastocysts, sir. We basically use good blastocyst embryo transfer, sir. It depends upon endometrium also. If patient is having endometrium, basically the standard size of endometrium is 8 mm to 12 mm. But if below 8 mm, so we consult with the patient. Basically, our gynecologist counsel the patients, okay, is it good to transfer, and if patient is ready for two embryo transfer, we transfer two patient. Otherwise, we advise to single embryo transfer.
So don't you guys see risk with single? Because okay, so let me tell you. So I started my career with Indra Hinduja.
Okay.
In Mumbai.
Oh, yeah.
IBS specialist.
Yeah, Dr. Ritu Hinduja
I've learned
is
all the
also there. Yeah.
vitro fertilization, everything there only.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In 2005.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so that was my first training for 1 year.
Okay.
and that time she was transferring 4 embryos. I don't know
Yeah,
like the current scenario
see,
because yeah,
basically the thing is that, sir, कि that time you are talking about 2005, that is
five.
15 years old. So
Yeah.
that time patient basically used to transfer day 2 or day 3 embryo transfer. So basically, sir, day 2, that time people were using at least 3 to 4 embryo transfer. Sometimes they used to transfer 5 embryo also. So I
Okay.
also heard about that. But blastocyst, sir, you cannot transfer more than 2 embryos, because
Yeah,
the
because
thing is
it's
that
already
if
like
patient
more than
conceives,
30,
so
right?
yeah, if patient conceive two babies, so she has to carry 9 months also, na. So we have to take care also that thing. So
Okay. So
we have to see patient situation also.
okay. And second question is, do you guys do pre-implantation genetic diagnosis?
Yes, I did, sir. I not much, but I did. So basically, we used trophectodome. We do trophectodome biopsy, and we use to send. There are two basically genetic lab in India. We tie up with one is Supratech. It is in Bangalore, and iGenomics. It is in Delhi. So we have contact there. So we used to do biopsy, and we did biopsy, and after biopsy we sent that lab for genetic analysis, and after 15 and 20 days they give the report and they send, yes, that embryo is healthy, that embryo is good, you can transfer that embryo. And the embryo is abnormal, they will mention there, everything is mentioned there, sir. Likewise, name, registration number, like we have a coding. Basically, we cannot write like append-drop or PCR tube, each and everything. So we have code for that. So we code, and after seeing that result, what they said after 15 days they sent. So if healthy embryo, we transfer, and abnormal embryo we discard. So,
That's good. That's like really good
yeah.
that happening in
Because
Patna.
that is the benefit of PGS, sir, ki at least we can recognize is there any chromosomal defect is there. So if a abnormal baby formed, and abnormal baby just if a lady give birth, so that is very difficult, and that is if patient can challenge also ki my baby is abnormal. So for that purpose, basically we counsel to patient also ki go for PGS, but that is very costly, sir. That's why people here in basically about our Bihar is very economically very poor. People generally used to come here for कि yes, we want child, we want a baby, like that they used to say us. So we counsel, some educated patient also came, so we counsel for that education, that educated people ki just we do biopsy also, so for genetic analysis, so they can understand. Otherwise, mostly patient just they want only ki baby, I need baby. So, and that is very costly also, sir, because for one embryo, 35,000 charges is there for embryo biopsy.
Okay,
So,
35 should be fine, right? Because
yeah,
they usually do sequencing and sequencing
yeah,
for.
yeah, bilkul. Yes, sir.
And the last question, the trend that I see in Bihar and Jharkhand by the gynecologists,
Yes,
that
sir.
they very usually they suggest the couple to go for intrauterine
Yeah,
insemination.
IUI. Yeah, basically
Yeah,
that is the
and
first.
the problem is if the male is having very low sperm count in the
Yes.
they suggest that okay, we will take from a donor, and people
Uh,
don't know, like they are very
yeah,
poor, they are illiterate
yeah,
most of
yeah,
Don't know, and I have seen many couple whom I
yeah.
have sent personally to the doctors, and they I don't know why they suggest immediately.
That's why. That's why. First of all, we discuss, sir. First, can I tell you the answer,
Yeah,
sir?
yeah,
So you
yeah.
have. So basically, yes, I have seen more patient like that also, sir. So finally, the patient gives semen sample. We check the semen sample. If the sperm count is low, basically our WHO standard protocol says key
Mhm.
count should be 15 million per ml. So if more than 15 ml per ml, you can do for IUI, basically that is natural process. In that technique only washing is there, only we can wash that sample and we transfer to the uterus. But if less than 15 million, just go for the ICSI, don't consult for patient. Those we discuss with our gynecologist. If a sperm quality is poor and less than 15 million, so we discuss with gynecologist, and I personally suggest to doctor ki no, first we will try ICSI. If embryo not formed, then we will go for donor and all. But first we have to try, because nowadays ICSI is very advanced technique, like worldwide people are using.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
And that's why I also prefer basically first I do ICSI. Even you won't believe I have done even 4 million, 5 million count is there, even sometimes 2 million count is there, and I did ICSI and got good result also. So that is basically depends on experience, ki how much experience you have.
So how much motility do you see?
20 to 30% less, minimum 20 to 30%. Sometimes we get 10% also mortality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Very, very good presentation. Very informative.
Thank
So
you,
it was
sir.
like brushing up for me. After
Yeah,
15.
basically it's a very I have keen interest, because when I joined in 2015 I did not have any much idea, because I'm a biotechnology student, sir. I did my BSc and MSc biotechnology, but after seeing in vitro fertilization I studied so many things, so I thought nah, that is very good and very new techniques, and people should aware about this. And in Bihar also, even you can maybe you will be knowing, sir, in Bihar, according to my experience and my opinion, only 15 to 20 embryologists are there. So, and there are so many gynecologists, there are so many hospitals are there, and there are so many gynecologists who wants to open their IVF hospital, but they need embryologist and they want experienced embryologist. But that's why I told you, if UG student, PG student, they want to make career in embryology, that is very good opportunity for them. So they can make their career in this field.
They can earn a lot in US.
Yeah.
Many
Yes.
around like 100, like $1 lakh per year.
Yeah, that's why
Like very
very
demanding.
demanding, very
Very
demanding. But in
demanding.
India, sir, people don't want to give money. They want only work. Yeah, you have to work. Like sometime I used to come here in night also for monitoring the embryo, because if gas concentration is there, sometime alarm system is there. So if gas concentration will be low, they're very challenging and challenging work.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Thank
So
you
I
so
know
much,
one
sir.
now in Bihar. I
Thank
didn't.
you. Sure, sir.
Good.
We will meet whenever we find the time. We will meet,
Yeah,
sir.
I have like I guide many couples for like IVF or ICSI, but the
Yeah,
problem is it's very hard to find a good doctor.
yeah.
Very,
That
very
is
hard.
a selection of IVF center is very important, sir. There are
Very,
so many gynae doctors there. They will give treatment like that, but a good IVF center is very challenging and very मतलब क्या जो भी आपने बोला very good, very tough to find. Sorry, very tough to find.
yeah, that's true. It's very like it's kind of social service also, you know.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
used to
yeah.
have every day a
Because
packet of sweets.
yeah, after 9 months, when patient came with baby, we feel like yes, we did a social work also. So they were childless last 9 months ago. They were childless, and now they have baby, and they all are very happy. So we are doing as a social work also.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. Good. So I'm sure many of the students who are attending this talk will get motivation, and will if they continue, if they want to change their field little bit, they will. I'm sure they will get 100% job surety.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah.
So thank you, sir.
Yeah. Good.